So today, hold on, let me just shift over. Here we go. Today I will be talking about whether I think the Nintendo Switch will succeed or fail based on predictions. Well, my predictions based off how the Wii U did, the Wii did, and how it is currently doing. Right. So let's see. We're starting off at the Wii. The Wii was massively popular and was the best seller of its year and had two of the best games of all time, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and Super Mario Galaxy 2 on it, and some of my favourite games all around, and with backwards compatibility with the GameCube, it made it easier to go from GameCube to the Wii and so on. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons why it was so popular, is because you could just go from GameCube to Wii without having to wait for updates to play your old GameCube games, and without just having to have a setup for the GameCube and a setup for the Wii, and then having to switch all the wires around and all that. You didn't have to mess around with any of that nonsense. Although it was extremely well marketed, the marketing department was just like, okay, this is what the Wii is, this is what it does, this is what we market it at, and they marketed it as a family console, and it worked. It worked for reasons. Firstly, no Nintendo exclusives at launch, which isn't a deal breaker, but is a bit bad for Nintendo being as their third party, is not too strong with the third party, and the reason why you go to Nintendo is for their exclusives, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, and all that. But it did create a surprising hit, Splatoon, which is now getting a sequel on the Switch. So it wasn't the worst thing ever. I mean, the Virtual Boy crashed and burned harder than it, but it's just like, I mostly blame it down to the marketing and lack of first party games at launch. But now it does have plenty of first party games like Smash Bros, Yoshi's Woolly World, the aforementioned Splatoon, and Mario Maker, just to name what I know. A Mario Party as well. Anyway, also it's got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on it now as well. Just in case you didn't want to get a Switch and you could just get that instead. Anyway, on the Wii U. Now, how has the Switch been faring? So at launch, it did really well. My mum didn't pre-order the Switch, so we had to get one, and everywhere was sold out on that day, and it's just like we seriously had to just go to this one, probably the last shop that we had the Switch in, so we got a bit lucky with that. Oh, my hair's bare. Yeah. Anyway, the marketing for it is, it is pretty good. Not as good as the Wii, because the Wii's marketing was really strong in my opinion. So it's not as good as the Wii, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as the Wii U's marketing, because they're definitely selling it as a console that you can take on the go. So the marketing bit, they've got that down. It could be a bit better, but they've got it down pretty well, good. Anyway, now first party games. Yeah, they're doing pretty good with first-party games. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is basically just Mario Kart 8, but with all the DLC on it. That's pretty good, and with a few extra characters and unlockables. And Gold Mario's back, yay. It's getting Splatoon 2, like I said earlier, it's getting Splatoon 2. It's got Breath of the Wild, which, pardon me, which is widely regarded as like a perfect game. And it's also going to get Minecraft, which is really interesting because if you didn't know, I know this isn't first party, but this is still really interesting because if you didn't know, mobile versions of Minecraft are the most popular, mainly because you can just take it on the go. Then console, then PC version. Anyway, so this is a really interesting thing because, like I said, the Nintendo Switch is basically just a console you can take on the go. Anyway, apart from me just like trying to figure out would it be classified as a pocket edition, because technically you can fit the Switch into your pocket, like I put it in my coat pocket when I take it out sometimes. I do have to remove the Joy-Cons, but yeah, I can fit it in my pocket. So it could technically be called Pocket Edition, but it will entirely be bigger, the console version of Minecraft and the Pocket Edition Minecraft combined. Because just to think of it, you know, they saying on the right move around like a Pocket Edition, and you could also use the Joy-Cons if you were more inclined to use Joy-Cons instead of use screen. That way it would appeal to both Pocket Edition players, because they'd be more used to like tapping on your phone, and console players because they'd be more used to playing with like a controller and the Joy-Cons, and then you have the thing you can to make it more like a controller, so that would appeal. That would instantly just appeal to both Pocket Edition and the console players at the same time. And then you have the fact that it is going to be able to be on the go. So you know you could be. Well, let's just say you're playing at home. On the console, you know, you're basically stuck there. You can't, just pick up your console and pick up your TV, and then just play on the go. And with the Pocket Edition Minecraft, you're basically stuck on your little phone screen, which even the most die-hard Pocket Edition, not PC, Pocket Edition fans will say, that's probably one of the biggest downsides to Pocket Edition is the small screen. And obviously PC players have the same problem as the console players do, where they can't just pick up their computer and take it on the go unless it's a small laptop. Then you can, but those are quite costly from time to time, and the batteries aren't the best. I do the Switch can play Mario Kart 8 for about 3 hours and 15 minutes on 30% brightness on the screen. So but I guess it's more or less as long as a small laptop has a battery charge. Anyway, I don't know how long battery charges are on laptops. I'm just guessing here. But with this, and on the consoles, like I said, you can't just take it out and go play it outside, and with the Pocket Edition, you're stuck to your little screen. But with the Switch, you can play it on your TV screen, and you can also play it on the in portable mode. And let me just go get it. Okay. There we go. Here's a Switch. Here's my Switch. You can see in my hand here. The Switch isn't it. Here we go. The Switch isn't that much bigger than my hand. I'd probably say it's about 3 times, maybe 2.5 times the size of a mobile phone, not including these Joy-Cons. And it's just like, it is good. 3 hours battery life on Mario Kart 8, which is a pretty beastly game to run, because it running at 1080p, 64 frames per second, and I've been playing a lot, and I've not experienced any lag. Well, not much lag. I've experienced the tiniest bit of lag online, but then you're online. If you don't expect any lag online, then you have unreal expectations for any console. Like, the Xbox One will have lag online, the PlayStation 4 will have lag online. So it can do what consoles and the Pocket Edition alone can't do, and that is play the game on the TV screen, and the PC version can't do this either. And do that, play it on the TV screen, then just pick it up and just go and play it on the go. And another really good thing about the Switch is that it has local multiplayer. I don't know about the Pocket Edition, if they have local multiplayer where you can be sat next to your friend and then just play Minecraft on your mobile devices separately without anything. But I know you can't do this easily with the console and PC version. With them, you will have to set up servers, which aren't too easy. But with the Switch, it's literally just be within proximity of your friends, and then on local multiplayer, you can have up to 8 people, I think it is, and 12 or 16 online. Don't quote me on that, because I'm probably wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 8 local multiplayer, and I'm pretty sure it's I'm 90% sure on the 8 local multiplayer. Online multiplayer, I'm not 100% sure on, or even 70%. I'd say I'm like 68% sure. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so it's going to be easy for you to just sit with your friends and play on the Switch, rather than just sit with your friends and play on the console, unless you want split screen. And unless you're gonna, and then we all have the problem of split screens for the consoles, because it's just like, you want the split screen to be horizontal or vertical, and then you also have the argument of who's going to be on top if it's. I'm not good with remembering which was horizontal and vertical. Horizontal, I think it is. That goes that way. I'm not the best at remembering things sometimes, anyway. So yeah, it's just like, it's a whole big fuss, and then you have the problem of just the split screen sucking immensely. Like, can you find anybody on it that play video games that would say that they take the split screen over any other option apart from buying another TV screen? I mean, honestly, if they could, they would just probably just like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, my point here is that people don't like this. Nobody likes a split screen. So that's another upgrade from the other version that the Switch has, is that you won't. It basically means that it's the end of split screen unless one of your friends doesn't have a Nintendo Switch, and then you. Well, actually, I don't know about that, but I don't know if you'll be able to play it, like this. I presume you would, because you have your L and R for switching your items, you have X for attack, Y for inventory, A for jump maybe, and then B for place block. I don't know. X for attack and destroy blocks, and that for moving around. So I'm presuming you can play it with like that. I see no reason why you would need that, that joystick. Oh wait, you would need it because you need to move the camera. Unless no, that wouldn't really work. I was gonna say like let you swipe to move the camera, but it's just like nah. If you're playing multiplayer and his hands just like be all over. Anyway, nah, unless they change something like I don't know. Yeah. And then it's also got like a Bomber. I can't remember if it's a new installment into the Bomberman series or a remake, but there's Bomberman. There's a Bomberman game out there, which is I haven't played it, but if I get it, I will play and maybe do a let's play of it. But it sounds good because we haven't had a proper Bomberman game in ages. Like I think the last one that I know of was on the GameCube, and then that's a technicality that's a Bomberman game, I guess, because most Bomberman games just have you like going through a maze trying to kill each other. This Bomberman game actually had a story. I don't know, but I don't know if I was Bomberman. I don't know much about the Bomberman franchise, to be honest. Was just like whatever. I know there was like a Bomberman thing I know it was on one of the PlayStations. I don't know if it was on the one of the Xboxes. I don't know. Anyway, so that's basically what. So that's basically just everything about the games. So taking all of this into account, the games are coming out for it. Also, it's got Ukulele, which I went to like game, and they had Ukulele for the Switch on the top shelf, Ukulele for the Xbox One, and then Ukulele for the PS4. And I kid you not, there was literally no Ukulele for the Switches. There was a few for the Xbox One, and there was like most of the PS4 ukuleles, which surprises me honestly, because I thought that there'd be a few more Switch versions, there'd be a lot more Xbox One versions, because it's just the Xbox One. Online multiplayer is broken on that thing. And the PS4 to sell a bit more, to be honest. But what do I know? I haven't played the PS4. That's actually that's the only current generation console I don't have. I have the Xbox One, I have the Switch, but I don't have the PS4. Anyway, so that's just. So yeah, I think the Switch will, if they keep this up with the Switch, keep the first party and third party games going strong for the Switch, and utilize some of its unique technological thingy-doodlers, whatever you want to call it, its unique capabilities. But I definitely think it will be a strong console, and it may be able to outsell some consoles like the Xbox One. Well, mind you, the Nintendo's like already outsold the Xbox One and the PS4 with the Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, don't go into the handheld market. Nintendo will wreck you. Just don't. Like, wait. Well, yes, it's just like, this is technically yeah, and they do have an app. a knack for, well, they do have, they have a thing for making really good handhelds. So I don't know if you want to count this as a handheld. Then, you know, and even with the 3DS at launch, it didn't seem too good. But it really picked up when Pokemon games started coming out for it, and there are rumors of a Pokemon game coming out for the Nintendo Switch, which I would be amiss if I didn't mention this. So if a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game does come out, yeah, a lot of people will be buying that, me included. It's just like, shut up and take my money. And like I said, especially if it's Gen 4 remakes, so like Gen 4 remakes, shut up and take my money. Just shut up, take my money, give me the Gen 4 remakes. Because I played Generation 1, I played Generation 2, I skipped 3, and I fell in love with 4. Like, it's not like I didn't like Generation 1 and 2, I did like them, but I didn't fall in love with them as much as I did with Generation 4. Anyway, enough about me ranting about my love of Generation 4. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Also, I didn't want to make this video any earlier before the Switch release, because it's just like, before it even released, this is just like more like speculation and than, you know, predictions. This is more like me just like, okay, this is how it's doing so far. This is how its predecessors have done, and this is doing and assessing why it's done the same and differently to its predecessors, and evaluating why the Switch would probably succeed at this point in time. Anyway, see ya. Bye bye.